Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Ever since the issue of subsidy removal that was made during the inauguration speech of Bola Tinubu, many Nigerians have been faulting Peter Obi as against Bola Tinubu. In fact, when they talk about the issue of the sufferings and the pains caused by the sudden subsidy removal, everyone keep referring to Peter Obi, even though he's not even the sitting president. And now, on his way out of court today, journalists ambushed him over the statement he made during his campaign and how this present dispensation, this present government, although they're still contesting it by Peter Obi article against INEC and APC and Bola Tinubu. Now, these are some of the responses he gave. I'm going to read them all through, but I'll also give you the scenario that transpired. But before we go into the news proper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update the channel on YouTube. A few minutes ago, Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Gregory Obi took to his social media to fault the manner in which the Bola Tinubu-led federal government has removed petroleum subsidies in the country. In a series of info posted on his verified social media handle this evening, actually, Obi revealed that on his way out of court a few hours ago, he was ambushed by journalists who accused him of being a part of the reason the present government removed subsidies because he was in full support of the move. In his response, the former Anambra State governor pointed out that though he has always advocated for an end to the controversial subsidy, especially subsidy regime in Nigeria, he however does not support the removal in such a manner that it puts Nigerians into more suffering. Using the analogy of a dentist trying to pull out a tooth or a bad tooth from a patient, Obi insisted that various steps ought to have been taken to insulate Nigerians from the harsh economic effects of the high cost of petrol before making the move to have full subsidies removed. He went on to argue that economic hardship must never be forced on the masses, but rather a government must show transparency by providing the people with adequate and clear details of what it intends to do with the money saved from fuel subsidy removal. In what then appeared as a subtle jab at the Tinubu administration, Obi stated that government is fond of asking poor Nigerians to suffer and sacrifice for the sake of the future, but in the end, the future keeps going from bad to worse. Let me quote him word for word. As I attended my ongoing petition case at the Court of Appeal today, Tuesday, June 6, 2023, judicial correspondent ambushed me at the entrance of the court and demanded that I should talk to them. When I told them I don't speak on the matter before the court, they insisted that I should comment on the subsidy removal, which the government representatives were touting that I am in support of. Reacting, I told them that I have actually been in support of the removal of subsidies right from the President Goodluck Jonathan era when I was a member of the economic management team. If you have followed me very well, right from the time I was a member of Jonathan's economic management team, I consistently maintain that the subsidy should be removed because I see it as an organized crime. People were just stealing the resources of the country, and I showed it empirically in my statistical analysis that we were not consuming the amount of fuel they claimed we consumed. I also give them the tooth pain removal analogy that if you approach a dentist to remove a painful tooth, he will apply a local anesthesia to numb the area around the tooth so you do not feel the pain. It's not the same thing as pulling the tooth forcefully. The pain you feel will be different. For me, I will go with the approach of the dentist while supporting the removal of the tooth because I wouldn't want to go through the pain of a forceful removal. Recall that even when Jonathan's government wanted to remove it, they came up with various relieving policies like Shopee and others. If you read my manifesto, you will see clearly how I plan to remove subsidies. I will govern with the people and show them statistically and empirically what we are going to save and what we are going to do using the savings to better the suffering masses. The problem in Nigeria is that often government tell the masses to suffer and sacrifice for a better future, but in future things get worse. Peter Obi. As expected, Obi's remark has sparked a flurry of mixed reactions from Nigerians online, with many coming out to share their thoughts. And let me just read a cross section of their thoughts, and we'll look at this very quickly and wrap it up. Somebody here said, same thing in Uganda too. Things are moving from fair to worse, and the gap between the poor and the rich is called income inequality is widening. And that person here said, the manner you spoke is hope. God bless you, sir. And that person here said, the same story during Naira redesign. APC government is dishonest. If APC is really serious, they should also cut down on the cost of governance. The Nigerian people cannot continue to sacrifice while budget for their offices increase or remain the same. And that person here says, Nigeria is one of the countries where yesterday is better than today, and today better than tomorrow. Those who couldn't make good of yesterday when they are stronger can't make good tomorrow when they are weak. Wow, this is strong. And that person says, I tap from your wisdom in Jesus' name. Okay, but let's look at this. What this person said is quite strong. The amount to buy Gary, let's say staple food in Nigeria, Gary, maybe in 2010, you could get like 10 cups of 12 cups of Gary for 100 naira. I could be wrong, but depending on your location. Right now, in most parts of the Nigeria, especially the southern part of Nigeria, you could see Gary, depending where you're staying, if it's a suburb or a village, can get Gary for like 3 cups for 200. In cities, you get a cup for 100 naira. Now that's to tell you that it's getting worse. I'm just trying to wrap up what that young man said about in Nigeria. If it is in Nigeria, you get to see things like tomorrow, yesterday being better than tomorrow, today, and today being worse than tomorrow. It shouldn't actually be. I think it's a case of bad leadership. But meanwhile, it's still on the same matter. If I was to be Bola Tinubu, this type is called Kramilopo, quote and unquote, copy paste. And now the person who brought the idea has given you an idea, run with it. If I was to be him, Peter Obi have stylishly given Bola Tinubu and his administration a head start on how to go about this. He even shares your P, which means why not introduce something like palliative, something that would go around to all Nigerians that will cushion the effect, so that when you gradually remove it, it will not. Now the cushioning effect will now go directly to Nigerians, not an organized crime. So you now see that Peter Obi stylishly again is giving them expo. I hope that some people are noting what Peter Obi is dropping. But well, I'm not in his team. I wouldn't know how he's going to go about this. Let's go wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation. What's your take?